8 daily tasks to exercise your mind in your everyday routine. Hello! Welcome to the Active Mind 60 Plus channel, your space for well-being, creativity, and autonomy to live joyfully after 60. Remember, in the description of this video, you'll find our ebooks with various suggestions for mental games to activate your mind and memory, the same kind we suggest here. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that can transform your life in a simple and powerful way: exercising your mind in your everyday routine. Many times, we think brain gymnastics require formal classes or complicated apps, but the truth is, your brain loves to be challenged in the simplest tasks. So get ready to discover 8 daily tasks you already do, but which can become incredible tools to keep your mind sharp, focused, and full of life. Stay with me until the end because the last tip is one of the most important for emotional health and can become a ritual of gratitude and well-being. Shall we get started? 1. Use your non-dominant hand for simple tasks. In our daily lives, we use our dominant hand, right or left, for almost everything, automatically and efficiently. This is one of the most ingrained routines in our brain. But by forcing yourself to use your non-dominant hand for simple tasks, you create an unexpected challenge that requires a conscious effort from the brain, activating neural areas that were being used less. It's a brain gymnastics exercise you can do at any time without needing any materials. Think about everyday tasks: brushing your teeth, combing your hair, opening a door, grabbing a glass of water, or eating with a fork. When you try to perform these gestures with your opposite hand, the movement won't be fluid or natural. Your brain, accustomed to perfect coordination, needs to recruit and strengthen new neural pathways to guide your hand in a movement that, to it, is new and inefficient. This conscious effort intensely stimulates the motor cortex and fine motor coordination, improving manual dexterity. Kinesthetic perception, the perception of your own body's movement, is also sharpened as you need to pay more attention to the pressure, angle, and force you're using. Concentration becomes fundamental as you can't do the task on autopilot. You need to be present and focused on every gesture. The best part of this exercise is that it can be done gradually and without pressure. Start with a single task, like opening your car door with your non-dominant hand. Then try brushing your teeth. Over time, you can try other more complex tasks like writing or drawing. The goal isn't to become equally skilled, but to challenge your brain to create new connections. This constant and conscious practice is a way to keep your brain flexible, adaptable, and always ready to learn, preventing stagnation and cognitive decline associated with a lack of stimulation. 2. Read a paragraph and rewrite it in your own words. Reading is a wonderful habit on its own, but it can become an even more powerful brain exercise when combined with the practice of synthesis. The task of reading a paragraph and then rewriting it in your own words is a complete workout that improves reading comprehension, short-term memory, and verbal and written fluency. It's an exercise you can do with any book, newspaper, or magazine you're reading. The routine is simple. Start by reading a paragraph of any text, paying attention to the main idea and the most important details. After reading, close the book or cover the text. Now, without looking, try to retell what you've read or write a small summary in your own words, in a notebook or on a sheet of paper. This process forces the brain to go beyond passive reading. Instead of just letting the information pass by, it needs to actively process it, encode it, and store it in its short-term memory to later retrieve it. Rewriting requires you to understand the content, identify the essence of the message, and then mobilize your own vocabulary and sentence structure to express it. This activity is excellent for short-term memory, as you need to retain the read information for a few seconds or minutes. It also strengthens verbal and written fluency, as you need to articulate ideas clearly and coherently. Additionally, it improves synthesis skills, a valuable ability for organizing thoughts and communicating effectively. Rewriting in your own words also serves as a test of your reading comprehension. If you can't rewrite it clearly, it's a sign that you need to reread more carefully, making the exercise a tool for self-assessment and improvement. It's a simple yet deeply effective practice for keeping your mind focused, memory sharp, and expressive abilities always up to date. By the way, if you're enjoying these ideas and want more games like these to stimulate memory, language, and reasoning, I invite you to check out the Active Mind 60 Plus ebook, The Power of Memory: Games and Activities for Seniors. The link is in the video description, and there you'll find challenges ready to print, play with family, or even use in group gatherings. It's a resource made with care for those who want to keep their minds active with fun. 3. Change your walking or strolling route. Our brains are masters at creating shortcuts and routines to save energy. The same daily route to the bakery, the market, or the park becomes something automatic that we do without having to think. While this is efficient, it also means the brain is no longer being challenged. Changing the route of your walk or stroll is a simple and effective way to break this routine, forcing the brain to get off autopilot and actively engage with the environment. By choosing a different path, even if it's just a parallel street, your brain is immediately activated. It needs to process and map new visual and spatial information, such as the shape of houses, the location of businesses, the color of doors, or the presence of different trees. This conscious observation intensely stimulates spatial memory and visual perception, which are crucial skills for cognitive agility. You become an explorer of your own neighborhood, noticing details that were always there, but that your mind no longer registered. This simple change in routine also promotes a new connection between the mind and body. The brain needs to coordinate the body's movements on different terrain, which can improve balance and motor coordination. Curiosity is awakened, and the sense of discovery, however small, stimulates the production of dopamine, the neurotransmitter for pleasure and motivation. This constant neural activation contributes to neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new connections, which is fundamental for long-term cognitive health. Changing your route is an accessible, free hobby that transforms a common habit into a powerful tool for brain stimulation, injecting a dose of novelty and purpose into your day. 4. Describe an object in detail to yourself. Perception and language are fundamental cognitive skills that tend to weaken without intentional use. The task of describing an object in detail is a simple yet incredibly effective exercise to train attention, observation, and verbal fluency, all without leaving home. The routine is easy to implement. Choose an everyday object you see frequently but rarely pay attention to its details. It could be a glass, a cup, an old telephone, a plant pot, or even your own hand. Now, look at that object and try to describe it out loud, or mentally, in the most detailed way possible, as if you were describing it to someone who has never seen it. Try to answer the following questions. What is its shape? Is it round, square? Does it have angles? What is the color and texture of its surface? Is it smooth, rough, shiny, matte? What is its size and weight? Is it big, small, light, heavy? What are the details that make it up? If it's a pot, describe the shape of the plant's leaves, the texture of the soil. If it's an old telephone, describe the color of the buttons, the shape of the receiver. What is its function? What is it for? How has it been used over the years in your life? This exercise will force your brain to switch from automatic recognition mode to conscious observation mode. It improves visual perception by making you notice details that previously went unnoticed. Language is stimulated, as you need to find the right words to describe what you see, expanding your vocabulary and verbal fluency. Semantic memory is activated when you try to recall the object's function and history. You can make the game more fun by challenging yourself to describe more complex objects, or an object you can't see at the moment using only memory. This constant and conscious practice of describing objects not only improves your cognitive skills, but also helps you live with more mindfulness, noticing the beauty and complexity of the simple things around you. It's a gift for your mind and for your perception of the world. 5. Memorize a shopping or to-do list. Working memory is an essential cognitive function that allows us to retain and manipulate information for a short period to perform a task. And one of the best ways to exercise it daily is by challenging yourself to memorize a shopping or to-do list. Instead of writing everything down on paper or on your phone, try to keep the information in your head. The challenge can be simple. Think of the 3 or 4 items you need to buy at the bakery and try to memorize them before leaving home. Or if the list is longer, like a supermarket list, try to memorize 5 or 6 items at a time. The trick is not just to repeat the list mentally, but to use techniques that make memorization more effective. You can associate the items with a route you'll take at the supermarket. For example, on the first shelf, I'll get bread. On the second, milk. On the third, cheese. Another technique is to create a funny story with the items on the list, no matter how absurd, as the brain retains narratives more easily. For your daily to-do list, you can do the same. Try to memorize the 3 or 4 main tasks you need to do for the day, such as call the bank, water the plants, prepare dinner, and read for 30 minutes. Repeat the list out loud in the morning and, throughout the day, mentally check off the ones you've already done. This type of exercise forces the brain to work actively. It improves short-term memory, attention, so you don't forget the items, and organizational skills by creating the list in sequence logically. Additionally, the feeling of accomplishment when you complete the task without the help of a physical list is very rewarding, reinforcing your confidence in your own cognitive abilities. Remember, the goal isn't to never use lists again, but to use this daily task as a springboard to exercise your memory consciously and effectively.
6. Do mental math at the supermarket or at home. In the digital world, the phone's calculator is always within reach, sparing us the effort of doing mental math. However, frequently giving in to this convenience can deprive our brain of valuable exercise. Doing mental math is one of the best ways to keep the brain sharp, challenging working memory, logical reasoning, and information processing speed. Turn moments of your day into opportunities for this exercise. At the supermarket, for example, instead of just adding up the prices of products at the checkout, try to mentally calculate the total price of some items you put in your cart. If one product costs $8.90 and another $12.50, try to add the values mentally. Or, if you have a 15% discount on an item, try to calculate the approximate final price. This practice not only helps you control your spending, but also activates the areas of the brain responsible for math and abstract reasoning. At home, you can do small mental calculations related to your routine. For example, mentally calculate how much time is left before your TV show starts or before dinner is ready. Add up the total value of your electricity, water, and gas bills to get an idea of the monthly expense. Or if you're cooking, do proportion calculations for a recipe, like doubling the amount of ingredients to serve more people. The goal isn't to be perfect or to have the answer instantly, but to force the brain to work. With each calculation, the brain needs to retain the numbers in working memory, the mental notepad we use for short-term reasoning, apply the mathematical operations, and find the answer. This constant and conscious practice improves the brain's ability to manipulate and process numerical information, which translates into greater mental agility in other areas of life. By doing mental math, you're giving your brain a daily workout that's fun and very useful. 7. Revive a happy memory with all your senses. And now our last and most important item on the list, which combines cognitive stimulation with emotional health, revive a happy memory with all your senses. Memory isn't just a database of facts, it's a tapestry of emotions, smells, sounds, and sensations. By consciously reliving a happy memory, you not only exercise your memory, but also strengthen emotional well-being. This task is a ritual of gratitude and a powerful cognitive exercise that you can perform in any quiet moment. The routine is simple and can be done in a moment of calm anywhere. Close your eyes and choose a memory that brings you peace and joy. It could be a family Sunday lunch in your childhood, a sunset on a special trip, a nice conversation with a dear friend, or the birth of a child or grandchild. Now try to relive it with all your senses. Sight, try to remember the colors of the environment, the sunlight, the faces of the people. Sound, what did you hear? Laughter, people's voices, music in the background, the sound of the sea. Smell. What smells could you perceive? The smell of food, the perfume of a flower, the scent of a baked cake? Taste. Was there any flavor that stood out to you at that moment? Touch. What were you touching or feeling? Someone's embrace, the warmth of the sun on your skin, the texture of a cloth? This practice, which is a form of memory-guided meditation, has a profound impact. It stimulates autobiographical memory, strengthening the neural connections that hold your life's experiences. The effort to retrieve the sensory and emotional details of the memory is a powerful cognitive exercise. But in addition to that, it has a direct effect on emotional health. By focusing on a positive memory, you activate the areas of the brain linked to pleasure and gratitude, which naturally improves your mood, reduces stress, and lessens anxiety. The feeling of revisiting a happy moment can be a gift for your well-being in the present, fighting feelings of loneliness and melancholy.
8. Read a paragraph and rewrite it in your own words. The task of reading a paragraph and then rewriting it in your own words is a complete workout that improves reading comprehension, short-term memory, and verbal and written fluency. It's an exercise you can do with any book, newspaper, or magazine you're reading. The routine is simple. Start by reading a paragraph of any text, paying attention to the main idea and the most important details. After reading, close the book or cover the text. Now, without looking, try to retell what you've read or write a small summary in your own words, in a notebook or on a sheet of paper. This process forces the brain to go beyond passive reading. Instead of just letting the information pass by, it needs to actively process it, encode it, and store it in its short-term memory to later retrieve it. Rewriting requires you to understand the content, identify the essence of the message, and then mobilize your own vocabulary and sentence structure to express it. This activity is excellent for short-term memory as you need to retain the read information for a few seconds or minutes. It also strengthens verbal and written fluency as you need to articulate ideas clearly and coherently. Additionally, it improves synthesis skills, a valuable ability for organizing thoughts and communicating effectively. Rewriting in your own words also serves as a test of your reading comprehension. If you can't rewrite it clearly, it's a sign that you need to reread more carefully, making the exercise a tool for self-assessment and improvement. It's a simple, yet deeply effective practice for keeping your mind focused, memory sharp, and expressive abilities always up to date. Those were the 8 daily tasks for exercising your mind in your everyday routine. See how it's possible to take care of your brain in a light, fun way and also create affectionate moments with those we love? Cognitive stimulation doesn't have to be difficult or feel like an obligation. When we add affection, creativity, and a desire to learn, everything transforms. If this video inspired you, like it, share it with those you love, turn on notifications, and subscribe here to Active Mind 60+. And don't forget, in the description, you'll find our ebooks full of ideas to keep your mind alive with lightness and joy, with mental games to activate your mind and memory. Tell me in the comments, do you already do any cognitive activities in your daily life? Which one helps you the most? See you in the next video, and remember, taking care of your mind is taking care of your freedom to be who you are every day.